Once again, welcome back to another exciting theory video. I am your host Dab, and today we'll be going over my theory that UA Academy has a dark past and it isn't what we think it is. Let me first start off with the name UA. As you know, this is spelled Y-U-U-E-I. This is the spelling for hero backwards. Keep that in mind. This imagery leads me to believe that the reverse of a hero is a villain. Now, what does this mean? I believe that UA was founded by none other than All For One, hence the reverse of the hero. We know that All For One likened his ability to a demon lord in a comic, and that a hero would come and defeat him. Well, we can't be a demon lord if no heroes exist, so thus he would have to create a place where heroes are constantly being trained and allowed to enter the tower and fight him. He most likely invented Hero Society to give him a constant flood of heroes to keep him from becoming bored. And what we've seen from his personality is he very much likes to dabble in many different factions. He's very manipulative, and he's very, very well thought out and precise. Another point I'd like to point out is if you think of UA as a number, U standing for uno, the number one, or one, and then of course the A for all, you end up with, in the first part, one for all, or UA, when spelled reverse of a hero, but when reversed, you get all for one, or AU. This is important when you think about it, because if you actually spell out hero, that means, of course, it is all for one. We know one for all has been around for at least 200 years. If he had that much sway, as noted in the manga, he could easily dictate politics on how Hero Society would have formed and their training. So he would have been around when those laws were passing and easily been able to manipulate that and prevent it, in all honesty, especially with how powerful he's been. He's always been behind the scenes, always pulling those strings, being the puppet master. So we can only imagine that he had a part in what we're seeing now. We also know that the school, from what's been mentioned several times over throughout the manga, that they seem to have unlimited resources. They have large robots, huge amounts of land, tons of resources to build, and just untapped and unlimited potential that they can give these students for their training. So where are they getting all of that? We also know that he seems to have taken a very lazy approach to Hero Society, as he allowed one for all to be passed down and for more and more heroes to be trained. So once again, comes back to that point that he's done really nothing to stop it from progressing to this point. And we know that All Might has only really started affecting him probably in about the last 15 years. So he's had at least 170 plus years to sit there and pull the strings. So I don't think All Might's really dented what he's put in place. He might have taken down a few of his comrades, things like that, but ultimately you can, knock over the chairs at the kitchen table, but you've still got the dining room. We know that the school seems to have a traitor, and for that, my theory is that the principal is in fact that traitor. We know that the principal, of course, before he was the principal, he was, of course, experimented on by humans and is easily harboring that grudge. During the test, when he was testing Kaminari and Mina, he, of course, is just kind of going psychotic with his math and just losing his mind. So that could be his real personality. That is who he is. He delayed All Might from going to USJ by talking to him and things like that. So All Might would have arrived much sooner than that and been able to prevent a lot of what occurred. And then, of course, the League of Villains knew where to find the students at the training camp. So the only ones that knew were the teachers and probably the principal. We really haven't looked at the principal because he's been, of course, talking about how he's going to find the traitor, that he trusts every one of his teachers, and of course he's going to trust everyone if he himself is the traitor. And I believe with his move to move the students into the school was a better way for him to monitor All Might and who he had given his quirk to, as I haven't seen anywhere in the manga that All Might has told Netsu who he has given that quirk to. So as far as he knows, it could be any one of those students, or he could be keeping an eye on All Might to see who All Might chooses. So that, of course, is putting Deku in a situation where the principal may now be seeing how they are talking as All Might's been keeping it on a very low key on who he's talking with. And of course, we know that UA only takes in the elites, meaning the cream of the crop to get trained. And All for One gets his entertainment ultimately, because they're not just training everyday heroes that are running around and giving people directions, getting cats out of trees, stuff like that. They are training people to be able to rescue, to do combat, and to just be great overall. I mean, Endeavor, All Might, Midnight, ones that have quite the record. Eraserhead. So these aren't just heroes that are nobodies. These are well-known heroes, strong heroes. So once again, in conclusion, that brings me to the fact that UA is once again founded by All for One, and that it is for him to personally make sure heroes are being trained so that way they can test him, the Demon King, for his own entertainment. Thank you for listening to my theory in regards to UA, that they are secretly a hero farm to entertain All for One, and that the principal, of course, is the UA Traitor. Make sure to visit back for our weekly review of Boku no Hero, and here's my little sidekick to sign us out.
Please, United States of Smash, smash the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, ding, so you can be notified when we put out a new video.